We're going to look at how to enter data onto a CASIO FX series calculator. Now, the most commonly used ones are generally the 82AU or the 100AU. Both of those are approved by NESA for the HSC. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle earlier when the 100AU was temporarily taken off the approved list, but it's back on now. So either of those two, although the emulator you're seeing here on the right, it's the same thing. So how do we enter data onto the calculator? Okay, so the first thing you need to do is put your calculator in statistics mode. So what that implies is that you're going to push the mode button and you'll see 3 for stat. So you push that. And we're looking at one variable statistics. So you then push 1. And you should see this on your screen. Now, what this is there's no frequency column here. So you're just looking purely at a list of scores. So if we look at something here, so we consider the following set of scores. So how do you enter those? So all you need to do then is you push the first score, then you push equals. And it should move you down one row. 16, 20, 15, 24, 12, 18, 27. Now I'm deliberately going to make a mistake for the last one. I'm going to put 22. Now let's say you have done that. You can use your navigation button just to go up. 21, push equals, and that's automatically changed it. So once all your data has been entered that way, you then cancel. And to access the statistics functions on the calculator, you'll push Shift and then 1. And this will come up. The type, we've already selected that, which was the 1 variable. So we're back to there. So if we go back into here, the data, if you're unsure, if you've made a mistake or you want to add new, you realize you've missed a data point out, you push to data and you can go back in and you can navigate there and you can edit. Sum, so that's when you're actually doing the raw calculation. So the sum, so 2 is the sum of the scores and the sum of the squared scores is that. There's very little scope at the moment for using that. If we go back into here, for the one we're after is var, variance. So if you select that, n is the number of scores, x bar, anything with a bar over it is a mean. So this is the mean of the scores. Now we're seeing here, these are 2 standard deviations. Sigma x is the population standard deviation. The SX is the sample standard deviation. And we'll say more about that as we go on. And if you look in here, the distribution, that's not applicable. For something like 6, there's your 5-number summary. So if you're looking at doing a box and whisker plot, the calculators now can do the box and whisker, the 5-number summary to allow you to do the box and whisker plot. Also keep in mind that not all of the models of the calculators do have that. Some of the 82AUs don't have that facility. So you may have to work that out by hand or upgrade your calculator. So that's how you enter single data like that. Now, the important thing when you're doing stats on the calculator is you clear the register every question. So personally, I find it easy. I just go into Shift Clear. So that's Shift 9. So sorry, I'll clear that. Shift Clear. And I just clear everything. Otherwise, what happens, so I just say yes and clear. That's probably a remnant of the old days when you didn't really see what went on in the calculator. You couldn't go back and edit your scores. So that's probably a belt and braces. So that's how you enter scores with the frequency off. Now, if you've got a frequency distribution table, you need to first turn your frequency on. So again, go into statistics mode. So select one variable again, and you'll see that screen. Now, the problem is here, we don't have what we have no provision to put the frequencies in. So if you're over here and you're looking at, say, a frequency distribution table such as that, you have the option. You can go and you can enter 1 twice, 4 3 times, 7 6 times, and so on. That'll be tedious for just this example. But if you're looking at bigger sets of scores where you may have in the tens or the hundreds, thousands even, that's going to be a very, very laborious process if you try and do it this way. So what we need to do, we need to go and turn the frequency on. So if you push Shift mode, which gives us setup, and select the second screen, and you'll see 4 here, which is stats. And now that'll ask you if you want to turn the frequency on or off. So I'm just going to select 1. So now when I go into stats, you can see there's now a frequency column. If you left that on, say for that previous example, by default, that frequency, when you enter a piece of data, like if I enter 1 as my first data point, it is by default assigned a frequency of 1. So with the previous example, you still can't muck it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter the scores in here, 10, 13, 16. Now, these have all been by default frequency of 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate across and then go back in, and now I can put the frequencies in. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 5, 2. So there's my scores in with their frequencies, and then you just press AC, Shift 1, which is the stats, and then you can go in and you can access all of your statistics modes.